Right, there we go. Oh, okay. So I did some really cool things last time, and I will briefly try and summarize what we did. Um, I managed to get some UI working that takes in some basic properties that oh, I see what I did wrong here. Hang on. That basically makes it so we click on a unit, it selects it, and it generates some user interface components based on currently the inventory and the stats. So we have the inventory UI, the character UI, and then when we select a unit, we figure out whether it's a building or a character, and then we get their stats, set the character UI, which probably renamed to unit UI or something at some point. And then if it's a character, we can just straight up get its inventory. And if it's a building, we have to get its storage inventory. Because buildings have storage, they don't actually have like a inventory in the same way. I think I'm going to leave it like that for now, because it makes sense contextually for the objects of class even. So I need to make the UI actually look decent and go in the right places. So I need to be able to um, basically set the UI in a certain place on the screen, and then set these as like additional panels that can appear. So I'm gonna for this we need a sort of uh, how are we gonna do this one? So we need another UI component that maybe we don't need to do the C++ for. Um, but it's going to be, so if I want to say go into paint, do I not just have paint in here? Probably not. Actually, paint's going to be a really bad way of doing this. Um, Fuck it, publisher. Just going to draw some boxes on the screen. Right, so um, we want to flip this. So we're going to have things like shapes, box, cool. So if this is our screen, we're going to want something down here. We're not going to want this filled in. Some in here. So I might actually save this as well because I can do some quick rudimentary UI design with this. So probably not the best way of doing this, but there we have it. Text box. So this could be like would 100 um blah blah blah. Nope. And then this could be like gold, stone. I'll organize this later. We just need to make sure it's all there. Food, blah blah blah. So we've got the usual suspects, right? I think, can I align top? Shimmy these around a bit. That would do. Middle, yeah. Okay, so we've got these things, and then in here we'll have like a text box, and this will be health, 100, and then I'm just doing this because it's really easy to see. Name. I don't know, it's say Archer or something, and then we'd probably have this as well at some point. Let's save this documents. Let's put this in actually in the RTS folder, because why the fuck not? Where is it? Give me a sec. We are looking for okay, that was weird. Blah blah blah. Okay, we're just gonna put it straight in there, and this is gonna be, I don't know, call it UI, right? We want this down here, and then you should probably put this stuff over here. Then we're gonna want something like a table. Just do it 5 by 4, whatever. Actually, no, let's not do it as a table. Right, we're gonna have like a picture or an icon or something that will represent an item with, and then we'll have a text box. So this will be like, I don't know, wood 20 or something, right? Can these just have text in them? I think they can. Yeah. No, it's not text wrapping. It's not alignment. Text box. There we go. So we could say, we shimmy this down, make it a bit smaller. And then this would be like, I don't know. It's good to kind of iron this out, because then I don't have to think about it much later. So let's say it's 40 carry weight, they've got 20 wood, and they could also have 15 food or something. That would be their inventory. And then if this was, say, a building, we put this over here. Zoom again, and then this would be like capacity, I don't know, like 450, whatever. This could be like town hall. Health's going to be a lot larger. Apparently I can't spell hall. And then this could be like wood, 150, food, 200, and then like stone 100 or something. All right, so now we've got so that this would be like a single instance of that particular UI. So when we select a unit, this one would appear instead of this one, but they're going to look the same because they kind of have to, but they're going to have different things. So obviously this one's got capacity, not carry weight, because buildings don't carry things. But it's going to have the same premise for the inventory. It's just going to have, obviously bigger values and stuff. And then we have our overall UI up here. And if I were to do something like, so let's make a new page. I think I can do that. Copy and paste, and this one's the building one, this one's the unit one. And if we put this across here, so we want something like buttons and stuff, basically. Hey Katsy, how are you doing? buttons. Buttons are what we're looking for, right? So we could have like formations. So we would have a button in here, which would be like, I don't know. We'd have like move, which you don't realistically. Let's do attack, move, all the usual sorts of what we're going for. So we want control. Oh, nice. I mean, you know, I'm sure the model will be fine. Oh, I need to move this to a better place. Oh, it's quite hard to see chat. Oh, it's whatever. Yeah, I'm sure the model's great. I mean, it's yeah, it'll be fine. Text box. Why aren't you? Where are we? There we are. I mean, it's a chibi model as well. It's just gotta be cute. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I finished playing Clue earlier. Cluedo, sorry, Cluedo, and something else. Game of Life, which I didn't do too badly on. Patrol. Okay, you know what? Let's just shrink these down a bit. Something like that. And then we want then we could have like formations or something. So we could have like buttons down here. I could put like a little triangle shape in it. And then little circle. A terrible little circle. There we go. Okay, so there's the general premise, right? Units, they have actions they can perform, formations. I'll just whack in a text box here just so that's obvious. Apparently there's a P in formations. There we go, whatever. Right, easy peasy. Ish, I think. Come on, come up here. And then we want buttons for buildings. This would be like worker, so if this is the town hall, you could produce workers, you could they don't really do much. I suppose we could have town alert, something like that. And then we've got like I don't know, increase worker which would be something like that. So we got increase worker gather rate. For like upgrades and you know whatever we want it to be for. This could be like blah blah blah. So that's the general premise of the UI. You select things and then perhaps there's like a mini map or something over here. You know, and you get your little buildings, and you get your, I don't know, do we have a freeform line? Freeform scribble, nice, and you get some rocks. This is quite cool actually. I didn't think this would be. And then we get some more rocks. Nice. Then we could put like another little round building over here. Okay. There we go. So we've got like the mini map, units, description, buttons, global stats, which I probably want to make bold. Bold, 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 bold. Just realign that. Shimmy this over here. Yeah, something like that. So that's the plan. That's kind of what we're going for. So we need something that can lay out at least this. So we need a box. At the very least, I'm going to make a box for the stats here and the inventory that sits inside a border that's like a grid or something. So let's do this quickly in here. So this is going to be something around the lines of what are we calling this? I'm just thinking like bottom right panel, but I mean it both is and isn't. I suppose that's very explicit. Maybe. Do we? I'm just thinking, do we need C++ for this? And I don't think we do. At least not to design it. Maybe. No, let's do it because I think there's some ways we can make this work. So this is going to be a user widget, and we want to make it so this is going to be let's call it context unit UI. We leave it because it's still doing its thing. I don't know why we got two instances of publisher. So I'll put this over the side for now. Come on, you can do it. Okay, so we renode all, and we node to that, and then I think if I close this properly, okay, so we close all but this, we open it again, do this, whoops, clean it up as always. I don't know, don't care about this stuff. I wish it would stop putting it in. So we have this, and this is going to probably want, so we want access to the grid. Now I think I've done this in a previous project where I've accessed a grid and manipulated it within C++ before. Let me have a look. Let's bring this up. So I want to say, firstly, it's, if anywhere, it's going to be in the player controller. Let me check the UI components as well. Hang on. So we have the UI for that. I want to say maybe the Quest UI might have something more to it. Okay. Perhaps not. There's Quest UI, Quest Display UI. That might be more like it. Yeah, so we're doing a blueprint implementable event generate quests. So we're kind of going to do the same thing here, right? Where we I would assume there's a generate UI, generate inventory. So that's when we interact with things. Yeah, we generate quests. So that's whenever we get a new quest, which is event driven. Okay. So we're looking to make a UI that can be accessed possibly from C++. Okay, let's think about this. So, got a context unit UI. This is like a really specific thing, right? All this does is house two other UI components. So we would want a U character details UI. Just call it CD and then give it. Come on. Oh, for God's sake, there we go. Encapsulate the field. Okay, right. Get and set. There we go. And then we want a new inventory UI. Encapsulate the field. Get UI, set UI. Then we actually want to go to one of these to come and do it this. And this is just going to be just call it that for now. It's easier to do this. Okay, so we'll be able to access these. And then we want a method that sets these properties. But we don't want to do it from C++. So we've got the code here, then we'll have the blueprint class with a grid, so we can set up the positioning of stuff. And then we want a method that gets run that adds each of these to the grid. And these are pointers to it, so we should still be able to manipulate it from within inside our controller. So the idea here would be, for instance, so we're going to want another, so we're going to want it down here, another cluster of this, and this will be context template, U context unit UI, context unit UI. The same premise there. We want another one of these, which of course won't actually function yet. Now, I'm still not sure whether this is actually how I'm going to do it, but we'll see. We'll see if this works, basically. I'm just gonna guess at the name I'm gonna call it for now. Oh, it's incorrect anyway. Context. Yeah. Have I spelled that wrong anywhere else? Okay, who knows? Right. Blah blah blah, and then we do the same thing here. We get context template, context context unit UI. And then we want to, maybe instead of doing this, we want to add it to something else here. Actually, let's keep that in because unit name. Ooh, let's call it unset. So that's obvious. So we add this to the viewport, but then we need a method for adding these instances to this. So we want to go over to the inventory UI. And we want to steal this generate method here, shove it into here, and we want to just call it generate UI. Call it that. And then this will take in one of these, which will be character details UI and an inventory UI. Okay, which is fine. Then we need to come on. Add the include for each of these. So we don't care about that because that doesn't actually need to function. So think void generate UI, and then in here we do this: generate UI, character UI, and inventory UI. And we're done. All right. So this obviously won't function yet because we haven't created this, and we also haven't actually made the UI that functions yet. Let's see what's wrong. Oh right, yeah, it helps if you add the include. I think we can afford to make classes that are for this explicit use. Because that means we can have a lot more concise control over it. If you were doing this in, say, like JavaScript or something, you would probably you just have lists of things. Hides class member, does it? Is that exactly what I called that? Oh, it is. Fucking whatever. Got to avoid these in the future anyway, just in case. Serves me right for being not lazy enough with the name. That was complaining that a member called inventory UI already exists because it's both defined in the class and the method. And if that happens, the compiler can't work out which version of that variable you are referring to. It would be like having two Jeremys in the room and the teacher calls out Jeremy and both of them answer, and it's like, well, what did you think was going to happen? So we're going to make a blueprint class of our new context unit UI. So it's going to be context UI VP, which I think is what we called it text UI BP, cool. So we go into here and we do what we did with the inventory. So we go into the graph, we go into the functions, we override the generate UI, which is the one we've just made. And then we, first and foremost, we do set. It's going to be character details, set inventory UI. So we're going to do this. Okay, so we can set those properly. And then we're going to, in the designer, we're going to have a horizontal box. Actually, we're going to have, we have a border, a horizontal box inside it. Maybe. And if I put some text inside the horizontal box, this border is concerning. I am unsure as to why the border is like it is. It's meant to be a border, not a fill. All right, who knows? I'm not going to get too much into the UI side of this, but that's a little concerning. Maybe. It's got content color and brush color. Like, what? Well, the whole point was it just adds a border around. You know what? I just don't care anymore. I'm gonna get rid of that, and I'm just gonna put it back. There we go. Who the hell knows? Right. Okay. So we can add a text box. So this is going to be our context. I don't know, box. Make it a variable, and all we do is go in here, we get this, we do add child to horizontal box, and we add the characters pane, and then might as well do it down here, and then we add the inventory pane. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, there we go. Right, this might function if I close this and start it again. Hopefully. We'll have to see what happens. It probably won't error. It just may not display stuff correctly. So we'll have to wait. See what happens? Nothing. Okay. Something. Hey! How cool's that? Alright. So we've got our name, which is character, I guess. Current health 100, carry weight, which we haven't done properly yet. And then we've got this. And they're carrying 20 wood, which I'm going to assume is correct. Oh, they have 30 now. And so if we 40 wood. So we need to make this update, which is something we'll have to work on soon. What's the best approach for that one? We would need to make it so that the inventory actually knows the character that it's referring to, and listens. Yeah, we need to do like an event based management system, basically. But anyway, now I need to figure out how to make that appear in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Wish me luck. Hmm. There was some kind of alignment-y type stuff. What's this give us? Render transform. What's 1000x do? Okay. And like 500y. I suppose we just compile and hit play. Okay. I guess we kind of guess for now. Can I change these values in here and have it update live? So like, nope. Okay, close. Okay, so the x value is also a little much, so we're gonna go 800, 600. Reasonable. So we need it down a bit more. So okay, let's 100, 800. We just want it close, you know? So when we get the rest of the UI sorted, there we go. And now we can tell him to go get some wood, select him again, and the wood appears. Obviously it's kind of covering up the screen or the character I'm selecting, but it works. It's functional, which is the point. Right. So we need some events and stuff that we can listen for. So now we've got sort of a UI that holds stuff down here. You probably want one up there as well at some point, but for now, now we should be okay. So let's think about this. We need a global way of updating the UI for certain types of events. Something nice and easy to manage it. So you can do an observer listener pattern, which is probably the best bet for the context UI. Because the only values that will be changing whilst you have something selected are going to be the health and the inventory. And all we need to do is listen for the add or the add and remove of an item, and whenever their health changes. Okay. And if I am correct, that is all handled exclusively inside the context of the character. I'm just wondering whether you can have an interface with bindings. So just to show an example, did I do one in my other projects? Content. We are looking for broadcast. Okay. Okay, yeah, so we do, and it's F drone died, and then it's multicast. Yeah, okay, right. So in our character, we're going to want 3 methods, or just do 2, right? So we want, I believe this isn't defined anywhere because this defines it, doesn't it? So we want one of these. Actually, we don't even want one with a parameter. We just need to know that the events happened for now. So what we're doing is we're creating a dynamic multicast delegate. And what these do is they are methods that it creates an object that you can add listeners to. So let's say in our example, we have our UI component and it needs to listen for an inventory change. So we want in right, and then we make something inside the character in here. Literally, it's going to be inventory change. And what this gives us, if I stop this, we then have access inside the character that whenever we have receive resources, we can do, so we have this and we can do broadcast. So now anything that is assigned to listen to this event will be told that event has happened. So inside our old inventory UI, we want a method, it's void, called inventory changed. And all we do is we run generate inventory. Thank you very much. And as an example, we go into the controller, and where we select the unit, so I need to do right, hang on, let me shove this over here. It's public. Oh, that's the drone character, sorry. I know how this works now. Sorry, where we have the character, it's in public. So we go to our controller, and then in the generate UI, no, in the select of the UI character, in here we can do inventory change dot add oh no, it's add dynamic, and I do need an example of that actually, because it's been a while since I've okay, so this would be like drone died here we go. Okay, yeah, so it's that and the pointer. So sorry about this. I'll explain this properly in a second. So we are trying to mimic. Did I literally just close it, or no? Okay. Yeah, it's capital as well. So add dynamic there. And we want the inventory UI, and we want it to be inventory UI inventory changed. So what we're doing is this event, so this is basically an array of method pointers, and what it's doing is it will, every time dot broadcast is performed, in our case this will be when the character runs this, it will run the inventory changed method, as you can see here, on our instance of the inventory UI. So every time the inventory changes, it will run that method. Now there is a case which we haven't done, which is being done outside of the context of the character. So in here somewhere we are clearing their inventory, which we shouldn't do. We shouldn't have access to do this from here. So instead we go to the character and we make a method called clear inventory. Nope, on the character, thank you very much. And this will be here. Clear inventory, which will perform exactly the same function that this is doing. Up here. So it'll literally do that. Clear inventory. This, but it will now also do inventory changed and broadcast it, because now the items have been cleared. Now the generate inventory, if I remember correctly. Oh, this, we might actually need to pass the inventory again, because the inventory UI, yeah, it just has that. Okay, let's okay, now let's change it a bit, because this makes a bit more sense. So now we do actually need to pass the inventory to it. I think it's literally this, and underscore 1 param. Let me just double check that. 1 param. We don't need that. Yep, cool, right. Now we need to pass the parameter across. So we literally do stats.inventory. So instead here, we now need to pass the inventory whenever we run it. But in theory, this should still function fine. So we're now passing the inventory to it, and inside the inventory UI, we literally do, let me pull this across. Then we do inventory equals new inventory. There we go. Let's see what doesn't work. Basically. So this should forcibly, does it actually need that? Hang on. Oh, it does. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so what we have is a method that allows us to have multiple types of any kind of class, as long as it has a method that matches this signature here, we can attach it to oh, hang on, I'm being an idiot. It's C dot. So now we've got it for character, and then we just need to do the same premise with the buildings. But all of the building stuff is actually done inside the storage interface here. So we're going to do exactly what we did with the character, and we're going to make a method on the storage interface in exactly the same way. So we're basically going to copy that and put it into the storage interface. But we'll see if this works first. It should, hopefully. Oh, it built. Cool. So the inventory UI can stay the same, because that's going to work in exactly the same way, which is the cool thing about this. As long as we're passing an inventory update to it, it doesn't matter. So what we do is we select this, and it breaks, I guess. Might not be marked as a U function. That is something I forgot about. Give me a second. I forget about these things. U function inventory, right? You have to mark it as a U function so that its delegate macro system thing works. I used to know all the reasons for all this. I looked into them quite deeply at one point, and I've mostly forgotten. But it will do for now. Right. Be really cool when this works, because then I won't have to keep selecting the character, and it means we can track other changes as well. Cool. So it hasn't errored. And if we go over to the gold, we should. There it is. Look at that. And then if we go over to the tree, oh, it's beautiful. And then if we if we kill this deer, no, kill the deer, please. Come on, you can do it. Yes, the deer still moves after it dies, which is something I kind of want to fix. Let me sort that out real quick. If health less than or equal to 0, stop movement. Cool. Right, and let's fill up his inventory and see if it clears it. So you can see the wood going up, wood still going up because he's found another tree. Now he's going back, and in theory, it's gone. Wonderful. Now we need to do it for buildings, which is exactly the same purpose. Exactly the same concept. We can literally copy and paste for this. We take this, we clear down the stuff that we're not interested in at the moment. Go to the storage interface. We go to here. We whack this in here. Go over to the game character. Get this. We add a public that. So we now have inventory changed on here, and then inside here we literally do the same thing. Inventory change dot broadcast, and it's going to be get that, I think. Yep. And then same on remove items. And then inside the player controller, we take this, we go into here, we get the storage interface, and now we do storage interface dot inventory change dot add dynamic dot blah 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 blah. We stop the game. We hope that this code functions. And so now whenever we add or remove an item from here, the storage updates as well. And are we doing storage here? Yeah, we're doing generate inventory and stuff. Cool. And I've probably missed a that doesn't sound like the actual error to me. Okay, yeah, alright, let's call this storage inventory change. Let's try that. It's complaining that there are two things with the same name. Should be okay now. Oh, yeah, no, that's a good shout. Excellent. So now what we can do is select the character, tell them to go and gather things from an inventory, select the building, and then see its inventory get updated. So we're gonna hit play, select the character, we're gonna do that. We might as well watch whilst its inventory fills up with wood. It'll be nearly full in a second. Another tree. So we're going to select the building. Um, Give me a sec. Oh, I think I've just made it so it adds the same delegate twice. So this means I need to do add unique. There we go. So it never adds the same one. Oh, in fact, what we want to do So what I'm picturing here, say we select a unit and then we select another unit. So now the inventory is listening to multiple units. And as one of their inventories change, it will update regardless. Okay. Because the inventory is consistent regardless. So the problem I'm having right now, imagine you have a car and you select a car and suddenly the steering of the car is bound to to like the steering wheel input you've got. And if you select another car, you're now controlling both cars because you've just simply added another input to it. So but you're still listening for the other. You're still affecting the other car essentially. So how do we do this? We so we're adding a dynamic from the context of the character, which is how we have to do it. Yeah, because we're gonna get if, for instance, two characters were, if we'd selected two characters and we updated the UI according to that. If one of them gathered wood and immediately after them one of them gathered gold, the one that just gathered gold would change the inventory to have updated to that one. Before we clear the selected units, we could make a method not too dissimilar to this that unbinds all of the listeners. Oh, this is a little convoluted, perhaps. But this is a simple, straightforward, this is what it needs to do. So this functionality is how it's supposed to work. Let me just make sure it does work for a start. We know the character does. So we could do one of two things here. We could remember use the selection the selected unit, check whether for every binding, so let's just do this. Let's because it's the only way I can think this will work. So we want something that's void clear clear delegates, and if we go into here, what we want to do, we want a copy of this, right? And we don't do any setting. We want to remove just remove all. And exactly the same premise here. Alexa, stop. That was random. Alexa coming on like that. Alright, and then this can be C. So you get the selected units. You probably want to put this if statement in as well, actually. Check if it's a building, we check if it implements that. We don't actually need to do the cast, we just do that. So if it's building, if it's the storage, we get that, then we remove that. Okay, anyway, so let's just see this functions, right? So we select our unit, we tell it to gather some wood. All right, we gather some wood. So like, I can give you an example. If I select this, you can see it's taking the inventory of the character because it's still bound to the character. But hopefully we get building 100 wood. There we go. If I select this guy and now make him to go to gold, right, we can see gold. If I select this, you see the problem? So every time he gathers gold, he updates the UI. If I go to this, it will blank it because he'll give us the resources and then it will select his inventory. So we go over to here, and so it's functioning, right? So the code's giving us the right values, but we have like two different objects presenting the information at the same time. So that's why we need to do this. So whenever we select something, whenever we select units, we want to do this. Clear delegates. So we're going to recompile, I guess. I don't think this will need a full restart. Now we can prove this works by selecting the building whilst we have a worker. Oh, failed. Oh, it doesn't take 0 arguments. So remove all. Oh, hang on. Why? What's the point of this if it doesn't? I thought that was the whole point. Right, hang on. Where are we? Move units, select units, clear delegates. Okay, so this actually takes in an object here. That's fine. So we just need to pass in the inventory UI in there. Rebuild. Okay, what's this? That sounded promising. Cool. Okay, so if we select our boy, go over to here, it will start gathering wood. We can see wood going into his inventory. Select the building, and lo and behold, we don't get wood coming in. And now, if we wait long enough, which I should probably just lessen his carry weight, to be honest. He'll hop along over here, and wood. There it is. And now if we go to gold, oh, I just instructed all of them. Well, let's see what happens. That one's giving us gold. Gold. So they're all getting different quantities of gold. So we've got one. So one got 90, one got 40, one got 70. Cool. We still tell them to. Is he attacking the building? Ah, who knows. Anyway, this guy's gonna kill this deer, which should hopefully stop. Well, there we go. And then we click on this and golden food. It works. This means we have UI that changes based on stuff, and now we just need one for the health, and we are absolutely good to go. Right. Now we need to do health, like I said before. So let's think about this one. So we go into the damageable interface. And we literally need a new value of current health. So we take this, go into here, we close all but that, do this, and this will be f health changed, and this is going to be a float, and this is going to be new health, and then we want the f health changed here. Wow. All right, and then we come into here. Now in the character, whenever we do take damage, we do health change dot broadcast stats dot current health, and then we do the same in the building. Which is going to be building stats dot current health. Okay, so we're broadcasting that, and then we go back into so we want the UI element first, character details UI. We want a U function, which is going to be called void health changed, which is a float new health. We implement this, and we do stats.current health equals new health. And we probably want, just like before, we probably want a method on the actual UI element itself. So we're going to do another blueprint callable, blueprint implementable event called update health. And then this is going to be run inside here. So now we can update the health. And then we just do the same thing with the bindings. So we go back into the controller, go down to here, and we literally copy this, put it up here, do building dot health changed, add dynamic. We want the character UI, and it's going to be the view character details UI health changed. And then we copy this and we put another one down here for the character, which should be exactly the same. We're adding it to the character, we're removing it from the character, and then we go up to the clear delegates and we do the same premise here. So we did actually need this building thing. We do this and we do building dot health change dot remove all, and it's character details UI. And then we copy this and we put it in here and we change this to C. And there we have it. Now we have the health changed methods being set up and added and removed. So we know every time that their health updates. I believe this is like slightly more efficient way of doing it rather than. So let me think about this. If you were to bind the Unreal Engine straight to like the text value to a value in the code that changes a lot, it would do it like every single tick and try and update it. But this way, we're only changing the text as and when it needs to be changed, basically. So we come into the character details, we go over to the graph, we override update health. Oh, sorry, it's a method. And then we literally do current health value get when do we oh, okay, we don't actually need to do this. We're already bound to that. So I want to say I should be able to, yeah, there we go. And it works. I set that one to attack that. And now you can see that the health value is being updated constantly. Nice. Okay. Wonderful. That's really cool. And we probably want a background of some sort to this. Because we need to. Wrap with border. Okay, let's see what that actually does. Brush color, make it, I don't know, that. Jeez, okay. How are you supposed to use borders then? Like, that is not a border. That is by no means a border. Bloody, who knows? Like, what is this? The brush color, let's change the alpha to that. Okay, I guess that's okay. And later we can do the same premise for this with resources, I suppose, which is something I hadn't thought about. It's all right. We'll figure this out. Yeah, but it works, right? It functionally right click on some gold and gold comes up. And this looks horrible, so let's change that. Fortunately, we've got a single piece of UI that represents all of this. And we now know that borders kind of work. That's interesting. Background blur might be useful. But we're gonna start it with a border because we're animals. Why is the content color like what? Okay, blue and like that, right? And then item value amount. That's the name, that's the amount. Can I put something in between those? Oh, that doesn't sound pleasant. Special effects. Oh, okay. Synth. Ooh. Yeah, but no. Fun times. We might mess with some of that later, I'm sure. There's a slider, there's a checkbox, there's a button, progress bar. Cool. There's some pretty useful stuff in here anyway. It's got all of the basics, so we can kind of do what we want with it. But now when we go to play and we select this dude and we gather some wood, gold, sorry. Yeah, it's a little blue box. And we gather some wood. Wonderful. And then we drop it off, which we still need to do. And we select the building, and in a second, yeah. All right, that's really cool. I am definitely looking forward to this. So he's probably run out of wood. Sorry, he's not maxed out his carry weight. Okay, so there's a corner case in the AI that we need to fix. But just for sanity, that 100 exactly. That was just random chance, if nothing else. Excellent. Yeah, so there's a corner case with the AI that I need to fix. So base AI. We have carry space. In here, there's a potential for is it there? Hang on. Whoa, wait a second. Right. So this is fine. This is when it all goes well. We've got space. There's an amount to take. If the target run out of resources, but we have space, we loop through. So we want to do this at some point. So after this, type an amount. Gather from it. If this is nothing, hang on. Oh yeah, because they can still exist but not have. Okay, so we want to make a boolean in here, which is was found, and it implements the damageable interface. Okay, so we want to do that under each of these. And then outside of this loop, here, we want this. Or we haven't found them. Okay, there we go. So this is, there are either no resources or we haven't found a new resource to get resources from. Right, and then we recompile the code. And in theory, if I send this guy after the gold, if I make these gold instances have only like 10 each, so we can do this properly. Select the guy, go over to the gold. He gathers 10, gathers none. Okay, it fixed the problem, but it caused another problem. Okay, what? If I collapse that, oh, are we doing it inside the loop? Oh, hang on. That'll be why. It needs to be outside the loop. Okay, round two, everybody. All right, select our boy, go over here. Yeah, there we go. And then there's no more gold at all. So he just goes back and the building now has 20 gold. Now we can send him off to get some wood. And he'll gather 100 wood. And then he'll scurry on back. Then we get this. And we get 100 wood. And he has none. Alright. That's the best I can do at the moment. I think barely conscious would be the way I describe myself right now. Apparently I did not sleep last night, so whatever. We'll close some things down. But yeah, so we added some new user interface stuff. We also started the concept of dynamics, so the user interface can be updated as and when certain events trigger. This allows us to basically make it so that we can have lots of different kind of UI and they can all respond to changes that they're based on what we've got selected and stuff, basically. There may be a different approach for this. No, I can't think of a different approach actually. Yeah, no, I think that's how you're supposed to. So yeah, we made some multicast delegates. Not in there apparently. Inside the character and the buildings and stuff. Whenever their inventory changes. And then yeah, we update the UI. We made the UI appear in the right slot. it now changes based exactly on what you select, and you can gather stuff, and it updates it. And we get a nice little crappy UI to look at, which is far too big, which is bad colors and whatever, but it works. That's all we care about. If we cared about looks, we wouldn't be getting very far with the game. And it's not necessary. The looks are redundant when it comes to, making a game actually work. So I'm not going to put any real effort into it until it's a bit more fleshed out. I mean, I'm doing stuff, right? Every so often I'll do something like this, which is what we're going to be working on next. But yeah, it should be good. So hope that all works out, and yeah, I'll see you guys around. Hopefully, I hope this has been reasonably easy to follow and stuff. Oh, hello. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, I'll come back to this, I don't know, Monday or something. Basically, that's the plan. And yeah, we got it. We've got buildings and units, and eventually we'll do formations for the units and buttons that you can press to spawn units. But I mean, that'll come pretty quickly, hopefully. I need to think of a clever way for the buttons to work. That's going to be the real killer for this. But yeah, I'll see you guys around.